This plant is an agave. This is basically a desert version of an asparagus. They are genetically related. These plants are commonly referred to as century plants. However, they normally only live for between 20 to 40 years.
The agave has been here at the zoo and in our greenhouse since I started, and in all actuality we had a man that came and fixed our golf carts. He worked on the golf carts, and he remembers when he was younger, high school age, his grandparents had 2 agaves, and they were getting too big for their household. They couldn't move them in and out, so we're guessing they were probably 5 to 10 years old when he brought them in. It would come out of the pot, get planted in the soil, then back in. At some point it got way too big for the pot. We just couldn't keep it under control, so we built it a wooden box made out of 2x6s. Those 2x6s lasted for about a year, and if you look at the base of her, she has babies that she pushes out all the time, and she literally broke the box to pieces. We had to rebuild the next year another box around her, and it was around the old box and the new box, and she broke that.
This plant, at the end of its life, will shoot up a giant flowering spike. In Spanish, it's referred to as a quiote, but in English, it is commonly called a mast. And this spike will grow on average between 2 to 10 inches a day. We've seen maybe 6 inches on average here, until it reaches heights of 20 to 40 feet.
Very much so a desert species. People call them xeric plants because they don't need much water. They're a succulent because they hold all their water. You can see how fleshy they are. And then they also have fibers inside their leaves that they're very, very strong.
Fibers in the leaves and from the flowering stalk are used for sewing, to basket weaving, to many other practices that indigenous people have been using for probably upwards of 10,000 years at least.
So whenever an agave blooms, they're monocarpic, so they bloom once and then they're done. They die.
She is now in the process of shooting this beautiful spike, and if you get a chance to come see it, it's great. But the really sad thing is she's a mother, and that's what we call her a female. Even though she has male and female parts, we do call her a female because she is putting every bit of her energy into producing this flower spike.
Yeah, so this will be displayed up front at the zoo. We haven't really decided on a specific place, and it might move throughout the year, but it will be up for public display. So you'll be able to come here, see it, see how tall it gets, because like I said, it'll get 20, 30, 40, maybe even 40 feet tall. So it'll be something to see. It's amazing. You don't see this in Kansas. It's just not something that you see in Kansas. So it's pretty spectacular.